Welcome back to another preview here in the channel. This week number 6, the Ravens still at home, hosting the LA Chargers. And it's a battle of the 4-1s, both teams division leaders. And both teams have one game ahead of their second place team in their division. So yeah, man, very important game to just have that margin again, to just keep that one game advantage into our lead. So yeah, man, and it's gonna be a challenge. I think it's our biggest challenge this season. Well, second biggest, I can say. I can say second biggest because the Chargers have been surprisingly good. But the Ravens as well, we have looked surprisingly good despite everything that has happened this year. But we have about 18 players on IR right now, and we have 10 players who are not going to be coming back this season. So yeah, it kind of looked like the 49ers of last year, but we're able to work through it. This team, man, and again, from the games we've watched from the Ravens, there's one thing that the Ravens are showing, and it's grit. We are 4-1 currently, but we could easily be 2-2, or 3-2, 2-3, or 1-4 even. But this young core, what we're seeing, this young core is finally maturing. When games come down to the wire, the Ravens are finding ways to win these games. Compared to in the past, the Ravens would either dominate teams, or when they get down in games and face adversity, they mentally collapse under the pressure and they don't know how to respond. Well, this season, that's not the case anymore. When the Ravens have a rough start and get down in games such as week 2 or week 5, they keep fighting and don't mentally collapse. That shows the team's maturity to see how much more comfortable they are in those situations. So far this season, we are showing much more mental perseverance than we have in any season prior during the Lamar Jackson era. It's special to watch, and this Ravens team is already much more seasoned and prepared for anything thrown their way than they were in the past. And man, and in these games, we're getting great performances, honestly. We're getting these great performances. So I think we should be proud. I think we should be proud of this team. So that's what I have to say about this intro here. Just getting this out of the way here. So I do these previews every week. If you're new, if it's your first time stopping by one of my videos in this channel, I do previews every week of the season. Normally they come 1 or 2 days before game day. Sometimes I'm able to get it midweek. But yeah, I don't really get these out as soon as I can because I have a very packed schedule at the moment. But yeah, click the like button and subscribe if you're new. Click the bell to enable notifications because I'm having this consistently. Very consistent with these. So yeah, until further ado, let's get right into it. First things first, let's compare the offenses here. As you see, both are pretty good. Both are pretty good offenses. I think ours I can say it's better. We have a better rushing attack. Their passing is better. They're better in points. But I honestly, I think it's you can say if ours is better, it's pretty much by a very slim margin. But yeah, man, the Chargers are really that team that just air it out and have a not bad running game to complement it. But compared to the past few years, the Ravens, our passing game has been very, very good. Our passing game, after being last season, has seen massive regression. And again, like I've said in past videos, the difference between this year and last year is that I'm seeing receivers get open. Last week, you had Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown make history as the only players in NFL history from the same school to record 100 plus yards and 2 touchdowns each in the same game. And impressive performance on Monday Night Football, to say the least. Honestly, they both had the best games of their career. Mark Andrews for sure had the best game of his career, stats wise. And again, it showed us what happens. He showed us what happens when we do not triple or double Mark Andrews. This is how much damage it can make. So man, he went off. He completely went off. He's living up to his contract. He's showing exactly why the Ravens paid him $13 million per year. Hollywood Brown, on his part, he's having a fantastic season. Yeah, and he continued on last night. And his first touchdown was a very important one. It gave the Ravens momentum to pull off this comeback. And he also caught the game-winning touchdown that completed the comeback there. But man, I think what he needs to fix consistency. That's pretty much it. But honestly, this year he's becoming very consistent, actually. This year he's been pretty consistent compared to all the other years. He's shown flashes of his brilliance in the past, but he has never been as consistent as he is right now. And man, and we're seeing Oklahoma. We're seeing Oklahoma Marquise Brown finally this season. And a confident Hollywood Brown is one of the most dangerous receivers in the league. And man, again, these two are showing why teams cannot stack the box against us anymore. It's basically pick your poison with the Ravens offense now. Either stop the run or just try to stop the pass. But one of them is always going to work. This offense is going to be unstoppable both ways. No more one-dimensional offense in Baltimore. From this season till the end of their careers. So let's go to defense now, and it's a bit complicated here. Okay, it is very complicated, but man, it shouldn't be that complicated either. At the same time, it is. The Chargers, their pass defense is great, but their run defense is the complete 180 of that. And points-wise, they're pretty decent at that. But can we really say the Chargers played running teams at all this year? I think that is the first running team where they're playing right now. So I think if there is any game, you're gonna have Lamar and all the running backs have big games on the ground. I think this is the game. So yeah, man, their pass defense is great. Run defense, complete opposite. But for us, it's the opposite of them. Our run defense is great, But our pass defense has not been good. We've had injuries in the secondaries for sure, but it has not been good. Points again, decent. So the defenses are pretty similar in terms of many things. Except it's like a lot of opposites. But man, both defenses have big weaknesses. Okay, keys to beating the Chargers offensively. Again, like I said before, interesting defense. Chargers, 7th best passing defense. Second, actually worst rushing defense in the league. And they're missing Kenneth Murray right now, so their linebackers are pretty suspect. And again, run the ball. This game seems like a formula to us for us to run the ball straight at them, down their throats. Game plan should be simple. I think we should use the same game plan we've used against the Chiefs. Run the ball, control the clock, and keep Herbert and that dynamic offense off the field. I'd rather force the Chargers to play our game than get drawn into their type of game, which is a shootout. Obviously, Herbert and that offense can score points, but the more you keep them off the field, the better. The Chargers do have some talent defensively as Joey Bosa and Dorian James. So it's going to be a big game for Alejandro Villanueva to defend Bosa, who has already received high praise from Roman. If the Chargers stack the box, then go to a passing it. Okay, so if the Chargers stack the box, go to a passing attack. But playing one of the worst rushing defenses in the league is the perfect opportunity to get our rushing game back on track, honestly. So that's pretty much it for offense. Like I said, run the ball, control the clock, keep Herbert out of that field, and make them play our game instead of them making us play their type of game, which is the most important out of all. Defensively, we're playing a very good offense. I do have faith in our defense, but if we play the way we played last week, the Chargers are going to just have a field day. It's not going to be pretty. So, and also, considering last week, the Colts have a way worse offense than the Chargers. So, and they're way less talented as well. So, yeah. The Chargers have Justin Herbert. Looks like the next big thing. And getting pressure on Herbert and making him flustered will be huge in dictating this game. The Chargers have two great wide receivers in Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. And Keenan Allen, he is a top 10 receiver. He might be the best pure route runner in the entire league. And if you look at his tape, the way he runs his routes, so beautiful. So beautiful. And then you have Mike Williams, who's that aggressive catch receiver. He's big, strong, physical, and he's been breaking out this year. He's been dominant. And again, this is by far the best wide receiver duo we faced this season. Yes, better than Hill and Hardman for sure. Better than that, I'd say. McCall Hardman he's not that good. So yeah, we have the fourth worst passing defense in the league. So we have a reason to be concerned. It's going to be a big game for our corners, and Averett, the way he played last week, he cannot play like he did last week. He cannot. It's going to get ugly if he does. Also, the Chargers have Austin Eckler. He's a great receiving back, and the Ravens struggle defending receiving backs pretty much this season. Colts and Lions. We've had trouble wrapping up. It's been very concerning. And these running backs have made us pay. They've made us pay really badly. And I expect the Chargers to have that game plan, because the inside linebacker play so far has been concerning, to say the least. We've invested high draft picks in Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison, and we had high expectations, and they've been disappointing so far this season. And also, we're seeing a lot of changes in terms of how they're getting their snaps. Queen and Harrison snaps have been dropping. And yeah, it's getting concerning. It's like, man, I mean, we've ran a few plays even without an inside linebacker on the field at all, which is not something you really see in the Ravens defense. And also, man, as somebody who grew up watching Ray Lewis and guys like Terrell Suggs, we're not, like, this org has a reputation of having great linebacker play. This organization is built on great linebacker play, and we're not seeing it this season. We're simply not seeing it. Well, to be fair, Queen and Harrison are both young, and there is still potential in them. Like, of course, give them time. But the problem is, we need some improvement. We need some progression from both of them. And also, their problems are not a one-game thing. Queen has had trouble with mental processing, block shedding, tackling, and Harrison has had issues with coverage, field awareness, read and reaction. But man, it's very concerning. It's been a problem every game so far this season. I'm telling you right now. But despite that, I have confidence in them turning it around. But they've been the most disappointing unit so far. Linebackers have been the most disappointing unit so far this season. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's going to be important to wrap up, fix the tackling, and I'm hoping Queen and Harrison can play well. Finally, last thing, I don't think the Ravens should blitz a ton this game. So we need to get pressure out of the base. We all know Wink is going to blitz Herbert a ton because he's a young quarterback. He hasn't seen before. But I don't think it's a good idea. But yeah, we're not Wink, right? I could be wrong. Who knows? Herbert has a strong arm and is mobile. And running a cover zero blitz and leaving our corners on an island with Allen and Williams just doesn't sound like a good idea at all. But yeah, I don't think we should. But you already know, Wink. We live and die by the blitz. So I'm not expecting anything but a blitz. Just blitz heavy scheme. Okay, now time for the score prediction here. So guys, this game, I'm expecting a shootout. Okay, both defenses are gonna get exposed. I think it's gonna be a shootout, but I think the Ravens are gonna come out as the winners here. 37-34 is my score prediction. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a hard attack game for sure, 100%. it's gonna be another one. Like, yeah, of course. But yeah, man. I think we can pull it off. I think we can definitely pull this off. I really think we can beat anybody in this league. I think we can beat anybody in this league with the fact that we beat the Chiefs with 15 players on IR. We can still beat anybody in this league. But yeah, man. I think it's gonna be a shootout. You're gonna be wondering what is defense, but yeah, man. I think we're capable of doing it. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be easy. But yeah, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Click that button. Comment down below your thoughts and your feeling about this game. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. And let's see what happens. Big game.